Good evening, this is Tina. How are you doing today? In this video, I'm gonna show you how to using temporal to customize the date to match the data type supported by the database. Okay, so first let me show you the problem. The problem happens before Java 7. Before Java 7, if we want to specify for a date, we have to using the date, this object, or we can using the calendar. Okay, and suppose we create date is 2019. Today is November 27. Okay, if we want to store this value into the database, it will actually store into the table like this way. Something like this, which means we won't have a date, but actually it is stored as a time stamp in the database, because the date represents the date and the time. But in some cases, I don't want to store this 00, those things, which is the time, inside the database. I just want to store this part. How to do that before Java 7? Okay, you will already know, right? Using temporal. Okay, let me show you example. Okay, first let me add a new call. I haven't using date for a long time. Private, let's using date. Okay, birth date. We know birth date, there's no need to save the time, right? And here, let me add another one. Insert constructor, all of them. Okay, all of them. And here I want to change my man. Okay, I change my, this one is a person. I want to change, have email. Let's have a test at gmail.com, and I have a date. How about I just using new date? Okay, using new date here. Okay, so let's see what's gonna be stored. Okay, so now let me run. Let me see here. Okay, we can drop the database table. Sorry, we can drop the table. So Hibernate 01 has nothing yet. Okay, and let me run it. Okay, seems inserted successfully. Let's go back to our workbench, refresh, create a table for us, and display information. Okay, take a look at. When we're using birth date, it not only store the date, it will also store what? It will store the time, okay, which is hour, minutes, and seconds. But sometimes we don't want that, because for birth date, I don't want to have the time, okay? And for the database, it has all kinds of different type. This one is a date, time. I only want to have a date. It also have something like a time, data time, timestamp, all options. But by default, if we're using date, it's gonna using data time, okay? So let me show you how to solve the problem. We want to have a date. What you can do is add the annotation temporal. Temporal type date. Okay, and we can drop the table, and if we don't drop now, it will drop later for us, so we don't actually need to drop, because when I configure using drop and create. So I just run it. Okay, it will drop first. Okay, insert successfully. See here, it will drop first, then recreate, and then change because of the constraint. Then insert. Let's run one. See the go to the workbench, refresh. See the table again. See now it is a date. And if we take a look at the structure of a table, now the birth date is a date. It's not the data time. Okay, so we're using temporal. If you want to have a time, you can change it to like time. If you want to have timestamp, you're using timestamp. But when you want to use timestamp, there's no need for that because by default it's gonna be timestamp. Okay, so let me switch to date. Okay, there's another way. Since Java 7, it add new APIs for the time. Okay, it has a local date, local data time. So in the new project you create, we strongly recommend you don't using the date. It's not the immutable. We suggest you to using local date, like local date. And let's using BOA. Okay, when we're using local date, there's no need for local date. Why? I think let me change the JPA module setting. It doesn't recognize. Let me using Java 8. Okay, Java 8. Okay, because Java we can using Java 5. Okay, local date will automatically map to the date, and if you're using local data time, it's gonna map to the time. Okay, so you don't need to have a temporal. So let me show you now. Okay, let me show you. We can add another one. We can add another one to have a BOA. Okay, and here I add one more is local date dot of. Okay, year is 2019, and the month let's using 0 and 0. Okay, local date dot of. So we have a birthday and a BOA. Okay, so now let's run. Year, month, day. Okay. Okay, inserted successfully, and let's go and see. Refresh, and now you can see the birth date is using date, and BOA we are using local date. Local date automatically map to a date, and we can go to see the structure or table again. See here, BOA using date. So if you are create a new application, we strongly to suggest you using local date, which is the new time APIs instead of using the old APIs. Okay, and for old APIs, if you want to solve the problem for date, timestamp, time, all the things using temporal, this annotation. Okay, so that's it for this video, and the source code is in the description. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.